Hi all, this is just going to be a quick and dirty introduction to Blooket, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to get started creating game sets. So let's get over to the Blooket homepage, that's just blooket.com. And right off the bat, you can see how Blooket has this very brightly colored, very vivid, kind of pixelated game style that's really fun and easy to use. So if I were a student going to join a game, it's super easy. All you do is click on join a game and just enter the code that your teacher gives you. So generally it's just like 6 random numbers or something like that. So super easy to join, but for our purpose we're going to actually create a game. So the first thing you're going to do is sign up, and I'm going to skip ahead to my account here. So you can either use question sets that other people have created, or you can create your own. They're all in multiple choice format, so that is one limitation that you need to be aware of. So to create a set, you'll just select that button here, and you can get pretty detailed with this. You can add images, you can create descriptions so other people know what your question set is about, you can make them public or private, and you can even import from Quizlet if that's a tool that you've already used. So it's very easy to make a set, but for our purposes, I'm going to go even easier, and I'm going to use someone else's. So I'm going to click on Discover Sets, which will show me all of the public sets that have been made. So I'm going to search for a subject, say plate tectonics, and it'll pop up with a bunch of different options. And I can see how many times they've been played, how recently they've been edited, how many questions they have, and who created them. So I'm going to pick this set, which has a nice picture. It's been played over 200 times, looks good. And from here, I can look at all of the questions in the set. I can look at the answer choices and make sure that those fit my needs. So this looks good to me, so I'm going to go ahead and click on this button at the top to host a game. So it'll open up in a new tab, and then we'll get some other options. So here you can see one of the really fun functions of Blooket is that you can use the same question set for all of the game styles that they offer. So they have a bunch of different ones. The most simple looks kind of like a Kahoot or a Quizlet kind of game, if you're familiar with those platforms. And then the others have a lot of different mechanics, but they tend to all kind of feature the same basic setup, which is that students will answer 3 questions and then they'll get to interact with the game in some way. So either they'll play around, they'll earn coins to buy upgrades, or they'll have some interaction with other players. So for example, there are 2 versions that I really like. One of them is this gold quest option. In this one, students get to answer 3 questions, and then if they get them right, they get to pick a treasure chest to open. And if they get certain combos or bonuses, they can steal treasure from other players or interact with them in other ways. The tower defense model is based on a game called Bloon Tower Defense that a lot of students might be familiar with. You essentially have a track, and you have enemies who will come along the track trying to enter your fortress. And so you are buying basically guard towers who can fight those incoming invaders. And throughout time, the challenges get harder, and so you're leveling up your towers to make your city more secure. So it sounds rather complicated, but it's pretty easy for students to actually pick up on. So I'm going to go ahead and select on that as my game mode, and then it'll tell me any important features such as the number of players who can be on at one time and how many players it suggests, because some of them do have interactions with players, bonuses that apply to everyone playing, things like that. And so the 2 options that they have are the homework button or the host button. The host is essentially for live events if you want everyone to play at the same time, and the homework feature is asynchronous. So I'm going to select that one. I can set a due date. Let's say that students have 3 days. You can set it up to a week in advance. And it'll just generate a title for you, and then the last thing you have to decide on is how many rounds you want students to go through. So again, each round involves 3 questions. So for example, if I had a problem set with 15 problems, I'd want to have at least 5 rounds to make sure that students saw every question. But typically these games are really fun, and so students will actually play more rounds than you set for them. But I'm gonna start pretty easy and set us off with 10 rounds. And then I just scroll back up to the top and assign now. So it'll automatically create a link for your students to be able to join. You just have to click to copy it. And then I'm going to open it up in a new window so we can see how it looks. So when players join, they're going to enter a nickname. And then, sorry, let me just move myself out of the way here. They can select new game. If they've already been playing some, they can choose to save up to 3 different games at a time. So that way if they're in the middle of a homework assignment and they need to come back to it at any point, they haven't lost their place. So I'll go ahead and just start a new one. And for now I just have the one map that they provide for the tower defense game. So Blooket will give you a tutorial if you'd like, but we're going to skip that for now. And my goal for this homework is to survive for 10 rounds. So let's get some questions. So I'm just going to answer a couple here. Let's say that I get, 1 wrong and 2 right. And it gives you the answer when you put the wrong one. So then we'll get to the actual game. So here you can see the track. The enemies are going to kind of enter from here and proceed along the track, and you're trying to prevent them from reaching this side. Because I answered 2 of the 3 questions correctly, I earned 2 coins. And so you can see that these different characters, which will defend your village, cost different amounts. So the only one I can afford right now is this laser chick. So I'm going to place it on the map. On the side, sorry, I keep being in the way, you can see that there are stats for the tower, such as how much damage it does, how often it attacks, its range. You could sell it or you can upgrade it if you had more money and are developing a strategy. And it has these kind of statistics for every one of the towers, so students can get really into the strategy if they play a lot. So now I'm going to play the game and see how well I do. So I'm going to speed it up to double speed, and my laser chick is defending my city. Perfect. So then I'm on to the next round, and I'll get my next set of questions. Once I've gone through 10 rounds, it'll give me a message saying that I'm done with my assignment for the day, and I can decide whether I want to keep playing because I'm so close to getting that tower I really want, or whatever the case may be. So that's Blooket. It's super fun, it's super easy, and I love it.